Hello students, today I am going to discuss about a molecular technique that is mass spectroscopy. The mass spectroscopy it is a technique for identification, quantification at a picomole quantity and determination of the structure and functional aspect of any unknown biomolecules. It can be a protein, it can be a DNA, or it can be any chemical structure or chemical molecules. First of all, this mass spectrometry was discovered by a scientist J.J. Thomson in 1900. Then, in the decade of 1990 to 2000, this molecular technique was so popularized that genomics and proteomic research work was totally based on that molecular technique. Ultimately, in 2002, a great scientist J.V. Fenton and K. Tanaka had got Nobel Prize through leading these techniques in the field of genomics and proteomics. Now, if we see the mass spectrometer outline, then the first part, that is the ionization unit. This unit is simple for preparation of the samples for the mass spectrometry, for the structure, molecular weight determination, function of particular samples. So, ionization means creation of charge through gaining of electron or losing of electrons in any biomolecules. First, we prepare the samples in condensed liquid form, then put on a solid surface, that is matrix. When we put laser beam, through this laser beam there is a formation of the charge ion. In that situation, a liquid form of the sample is going to transfer into vaporized gaseous form, that is vaporized ionic form. Now, when the sample is going to prepared, or sample is prepared through ionization. For the preparation of ionization of sample, there are two molecular techniques, that is MALDI and electron spray. So you know what do you mean by MALDI? Matrix assisted laser desorption, ionization, time of flight. So if you see in the next slide, you will find there are three components of mass spectrometer. That is, the first is source of ionization. Here it is written as ignition, but it is ionization. So the source of ionization, then analyzing units, then it is detection unit. So after ionization with the technique like MALDI and electrospray, we put the vaporized ionic form sample inside the tube of mass spectrometer. When we put the sample of protein or DNA or any chemicals, after attaining the ionic form, and when we put inside the vapor form, inside the vacuum of this mass spectrometer, the vapor ionic form get momentum. Each ionic protein molecule that is in vapor form get momentum and differentially separated due to presence of a strong electromagnetic field. So that strong electromagnetic field create a deflection inside the vacuum tube of mass spectrometer. If we see there is in the middle portion there is a strong electromagnet, the presence of electric and magnetic field. So the charge ion, due to presence of different mass on each charge ion and different energy on each charge ion, they are deflected differentially. They are deflected differentially. Now, when they are deflected, a mass spectra is going to generate. A mass spectra is going to generate on detection unit. So this mass spectra is going to amplify through a amplifier, and then we record with the system software, and then we analyze the data regarding the size, regarding the calculation of molecular mass, regarding the amino acid sequence of any unknown sample. So this is outline of mass spectrometer, that is the ionization unit, then deflection unit, and then detection unit that record the signals of mass spectra. So generally, if you want to know about the different component of mass spectrometer, so there are one ionization unit, then analyzer unit, and then detection unit. So ionization we generally do with the help of electrospray techniques and Mardy-Topf techniques. Then in analyzing unit, in presence of vacuum condition and in presence of a strong electromagnetic field, mass to charge ratio on the basis of different mass by charge ratio, that ionic molecule is going to deflected. When it attains momentum, they deflected differentially. When the size is going to increase by nearby about 1200, then with the multiple of that it is going to deflected. So it is quadruple time of flight, that is, if we say Mardy-Topf matrix assisted laser desorption ionization time of flight. So that analyzer unit detect the deflection of ionic charge molecule on the basis of mass by charge ratio. So then after deflection, there is a detector that detect, that is attached with photomultiplier or microchannel plates or electron multiplier. So these are the different systems through which we are going to detect the mass spectra of each ionic charge samples that have different energy as well as different mass. Now if we see the next flow chart, then we also see the same thing, that is ion source, that in presence of the monochromatic light, through this we can going to ionize the molecules, laser beam, that is monochromatic in nature, and then mass analyzer that will analyze the ionic samples on part in the vacuum condition on the basis of mass charge by mass ratio. And then we proceed for detection unit. The same way we get the pattern of this mass spectra, and then with the help of software we will analyze the molecular weight, the unit of that protein's helical structure of that protein, a function of that protein. So this is the outline again, that in a different way, that the sample entry is from the left side, a tube through tube, and when it will enter inside with the help of electron beam source, they are going to ionized and heat vaporize the samples, and then after vaporization and ionization, the sample is passed through a strong electromagnetic field, and due to presence of a strong electromagnetic field, there is a deflection of this electron beam of the samples, that is toward the detectors, and detector that is connected with the particular unit, that is amplifier, and the detector that is have different system, that is either photo multiplier or micro channel plate or electron multiplier. So if we see and the structure part, see the story regarding the spectrometer. So this is the actual instrument or through which we try to find the presence of any biomolecules even in picomole quantity. Picomole means 10 per minus 12. So if you want to try to again revise the functional aspect through ionization unit, you put the sample, and for deflection in presence of a strong electromagnetic field, and then after deflection the generation of the mass spectra, and this mass spectra detected by detection unit, I have already discussed the different detection unit, that is photomultiplier, microchannels, plate, and electron multiplier. So these are the different detection unit, and we see it is given in your book, the mass spectra. There are different mass spectra, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and each have certain mass and certain charge. So each peak value have certain mass and certain charge. So that mass spectrometer will detect only on the basis of mass by charge ratio, not only the mass, not only the charge. So that on the basis of that mass by charge ratio, that mass spectrometer will differentiate the molecular mass of particular unknown ionic form of the protein sample or any biomolecule sample. Next, the same pathway, that is pathway through which sample is going to injected, and the deflection detection of the mass spectra that will done through this mass spectrometer. This is the flow chart. So inlet means injection or the samples, that is the gas phase, ions. First it will convert it into gas phase ions, that is in presence of heat and in presence of laser beam. So laser beam create a ionic form and heat will generate a vaporized form of the molecules. Then ion sorting, as per it attain the momentum, they are going to deflect as per the mass, different mass and different charges. Means sorting of the different ions, means separation of the different ions on the basis of different mass and different ions. So due to which it is going to separate it, and then ion detection unit that will detect the different ionic form of the biomolecules in the form of the mass spectra, and that mass spectra captured by the system, the computerized system, that is data system, through which we capture the mass spectra of that samples, and then software will analyze the molecular mass, the structure, the function, the expression of particular samples, that is the protein or polypeptide. So before that, putting in the mass spectrometer, a sample must be a smaller in size. Means before that we do the HPLC chromatography, and before doing the HPLC chromatography we do 2D gel electrophoresis, so that a small fragmented form of the protein should be ionized, otherwise it will not detect the different ionic form in proper accuracy. So this is the mass spectrometry regarding involves ionizing a compound, separating the ions that result on the basis of mass to charge ratio, and we obtain a plot of number of ions versus mass by charge. So this is the totally computerized programming inside the mass spectrometer. Sample induction, then ionization of that samples in presence of high heat and in presence of laser beam. Next, the sample separation on the basis of different mass and different energy in each vaporized form of the ionic samples. So that is going to separated in presence of a strong electric and magnetic field. Then detector unit will detect the mass spectra that is generated, and that should be analyzed with the help of bioinformatics software, and then we will try to know the structure, the molecular weight, the function, and then expression of that proteins. So this is the different component computer system that is already fitted inside the mass spectrometer, and this diagram is related with how the preparation of sample occur. So preparation of sample, first we need a matrix solid surface on which we put the liquid form of samples, then we pass liquid condensed form of the sample on the matrix, and then we pass the laser beam that is monochromatic in nature. That laser beam creates a charged ion, and that charged ion it become vaporized form only at extreme heat. So heat supply and laser beam is essential requirement for creation of vaporized ionic form of the sample. Now this sample is ready to enter inside the mass spectrometer for deflection and then detections purpose. So this is the most important step, means ionization of sample is most important step. So only in the presence of power supply only we can proceed this preparation of sample. Without preparation of sample we cannot get any information from this unknown sample. So you will observe the charge ion, different type of charge ion only generated due to presence of laser beam. That laser beam create a ionic form of the sample due to loss of electron or gain of electron. If the electron is released out, then the molecule become cation. When the electron is gained by the molecule, then it become anionic. So either cationic form or anionic form will form as per the environmental condition. Now the vaporized form of the sample means initially sample is in liquid form, it will converted into vaporized gaseous form that contains some charge. Now this cation means positively charged ion, it will enter inside the mass spectrometer, that is known as injection. We are going to inject the sample in vaporized ionic form. Now then we are going to proceed for deflection. After attaining the momentum, due to different momentum they are going to deflect differentially, and then detection unit will detect the mass spectra. So this is overall the pathway inside the mass spectrometer. Now in the next heading of this topic, that is mass spectrometry, we will try to find what is the application part of this mass spectrometry, what is the need of that mass spectrometry. The purpose of this mass spectrometry on the basis of the chapter protein structure and engineering, the peptide sequencing. We are going to sequence the peptide. How can we going to sequence the peptide? The last step is the MALDI-TOF. First we isolate the protein, purify the protein, and then we proceed for 2D gel electrophoresis. After proceeding the 2D gel electrophoresis, then we separate the unique protein from the gel, and then we separate the protein from the particular SDS based gel. After getting the pure form of that protein, this unique protein, put that protein inside the MALDI-TOF. Now this MALDI-TOF, through principle of mass spectrometry, going to analyze the protein sequence at amino acid level. So this is the main application of this mass spectrometry, that is peptide mapping. Now identification of protein, we can also identify what is the sample. It can be protein, or it can be a DNA, or it can be a lipid. So first we identify the protein and then try to find the primary structure, secondary structure, tertiary structure of the protein with the help of this mass spectrometry. Now protein expression, you know there is a difference in protein expression and the function. Function means particular function. Example, the example is hemoglobin. The function of hemoglobin is just to transport the oxygen from lungs to heart and heart to all part of the body. But expression means differential function. It can be a low function, or it can be a high function. So if you see the example, sickle cell anemia and normal sickle cell anemia, there is sickle shape of RBC, means sickle shape, there is a difference in hemoglobin. So if we compare with the normal hemoglobin, so the oxygen carrying capacity is different. So this is the meaning of protein expression, means the same protein, same polypeptide chain, but only slightly one amino acid change, that is instead of glutamic acid, that there is a value. So there is a differential transportation carrying capacity of sickle cell and sickle cell RBC, that is the sickle cell hemoglobin, and normal hemoglobin. Then third one, that is identification and post transcriptional modification. You know the meaning of identification means you must identify the protein, that the protein is of your interest or not, that will be utilized in your experiment or not. After identification of particular protein, then we will try to add particular functional group. I am talking about functional group. So whether that functional group will change the property of that protein or not. So each protein, initially it is linear polypeptide chain, but when it will attain a particular chemical group, functional group, then the function of that protein will change. So that is through phosphorylation and glycosylation. You know, addition of phosphate, addition of glycosyl group, addition of carbohydrate moiety, glucose unit, galactose unit, fructose unit, that will change the property of that proteins. So this is the main motto, means try to find whether the same polypeptide chain have different function or due to presence of different groups. It can be work as enzyme, it can be work as hormones, it can be work as antibiotic, as per getting different functional group through different post-translational modification. Means after translation, after making a polypeptide chain, there is addition of certain group, that group change the function of the protein. Next, that is the characterization of protein interaction. So during the characterization of protein interaction, there may be a change in the interaction of the protein with different protein interaction, protein ligand interaction, and protein DNA interaction. How they are interacting with the different biomolecules, that should be studied with the help of this mass spectrometry. So try to know what is the outline map of mass spectrometer, what is the basic principle of mass spectrometry, means on the basis of mass by charge ratio, and what is the application of mass spectrometry. So this is the overall story of the mass spectrometer. Thank you and have a nice day.